All right, ready to dive into Tokyo. I hear you're looking to really experience it all.
That's right. From the peaceful temples to that crazy Shibuya crossing, this is going to be your ultimate guide.
I'm ready for the inside scoop. So first, can you paint me a picture of Tokyo? What's the overall vibe?
Imagine a city that's like always pushing boundaries. You'll see these super modern skyscrapers right next to ancient shrines. It's seriously a mix of everything.
I've heard it's super organized, even with all the chaos.
Oh, definitely. And don't forget about the incredible food. We'll get to that.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But back to the city itself. It's not just one Tokyo.
You got it. Think of it as a city of different neighborhoods, each one with its own personality. You could spend weeks just hopping between them.
So many different experiences packed into one city.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, let's talk about those must-see landmarks. Top 10 list. What's on it?
Gotta start with the Tokyo Skytree. You know, it's the tallest structure in all of Japan.
Yeah, I saw pictures. It's massive.
Seriously massive. It's 634 meters tall. And the views from the top, let me tell you, they're insane. You can see the entire city sprawling out beneath you. And on a clear day, you can even see Mount Fuji.
Okay, that is officially on the must-do list. Now I'm picturing those traditional Japanese gardens. Something a little more peaceful.
Ah, you're thinking of the Imperial Palace. You definitely have to visit, not just for the history, but also just to see how different it feels from the rest of the city.
So it's like a peaceful escape in the middle of all the excitement. I like it.
Exactly. You've got these tranquil gardens and beautiful architecture right in the heart of everything.
Speaking of heart of everything, what about that Shibuya crossing? Thousands of people crossing the street at the same time.
Oh, yeah. That's something else.
Is it really as crazy as it sounds?
It's sensory overload in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Giant video screens, music blaring, and people everywhere. Pure Tokyo energy.
Okay, that is going on the bucket list. Got to experience that chaos. What else? What else should we see?
Let's go for some cultural gems. How about Sensoji Temple?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. What's so special about it?
Well, it's the oldest temple in Tokyo, built way back in the 7th century. But it's not just about the history. The atmosphere is incredible. You can feel the tradition there.
So it's like a glimpse into the past.
Yeah, you'll see locals praying, smell the incense, and it just feels very grounded, you know, especially in the middle of such a busy city. And hey, the 5-story pagoda is amazing to look at.
Picturesque, for sure.
Yeah.
What about another temple experience? Something maybe a little more, I don't know, zen.
I'd say Meiji Shrine. It's dedicated to Emperor Meiji and Emperor Shokin. It's peaceful, surrounded by a forest right in the city.
So kind of the opposite of Shibuya Crossing.
Pretty much. You walk through these big torii gates and it's just very serene.
Love it. Okay, you can't talk about Tokyo without those famous towers. I'm picturing that red and white one.
Tokyo Tower, right. It's a classic.
It is. What's the story behind it?
Actually, it was inspired by the Eiffel Tower, but with that Japanese touch, you know. It became a symbol of Tokyo's recovery after World War II, and the views are spectacular, especially at night.
That's cool. I didn't know about the Eiffel Tower connection.
Yep, fun fact. Now, if you're looking for something more futuristic and maybe a little less touristy, you should check out the Umeda Sky Building.
Where's that?
It's actually in Osaka, which is about 2.5 hours from Tokyo by bullet train. It's got this amazing floating garden observatory. Basically, it's a platform up high, suspended between 2 towers. The views are incredible. You can see the city, the harbor, even the mountains in the distance.
Okay, noted. So we've got the classics. But what about some hidden gems? Those off-the-beaten-path kind of places.
Gotta have those. The Tsukiji Outer Market is a must. It's this big market where they sell all this fresh seafood, produce, kitchenware, all sorts of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I've heard about the Tsukiji Market, but I thought the famous tuna auction had moved.
Right, the inner market where they did the auction move, but the outer market is still bustling. Great place to wander around, get a feel for the local life. And the food stalls, don't miss those.
Sounds delicious. Okay, one spot left on our top 10. Hit me with your wild card pick.
Let's go modern and upscale Roppongi Hills.
Tell me more.
It's this huge complex. Art museums, observation decks, designer shops, amazing restaurants. You could spend a whole day there and not see it all.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of that.
Yeah.
All right, now I need the cultural lowdown. Japan is all about respect and customs, right? Like bowing, that's important, yeah.
Yeah, bowing is a big deal in Japan. It's how you show respect, gratitude, even apologize.
Okay, so how do I do it right?
It depends. A slight nod is fine for everyday greetings, but a deeper bow shows more respect, especially if you're meeting someone for the first time or thanking them.
So it's like a whole language of politeness. I like it.
Yeah.
What else should we know?
Oh, definitely when you visit temples and shrines, remember those are sacred places. Dress modestly, be quiet, and take off your shoes before you go in certain areas.
Good to know. I definitely want to be respectful.
You'll see locals purifying their hands and mouth at the water basin near the entrance. It's part of the custom.
I'll have to try that. What about language? Should I try to learn some Japanese phrases?
Always a good idea. Even simple phrases like hello and thank you go a long way. It shows you're making an effort, you know?
Makes sense.
Plus, it can be fun to try.
Okay, I'm ready to talk food. We touched on sushi and ramen, but what else should we try? Those dishes that maybe not everyone knows about.
You're speaking my language. Let's talk okonomiyaki. It's like this savory pancake loaded with cabbage and whatever meat or seafood you want.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What makes it so special?
Oh, it's topped with this tangy sauce, and then, get this, they sprinkle dancing bonito flakes on top.
Dancing bonito flakes. That sounds interesting.
It's a whole experience, and trust me, it's delicious.
Where do we find the best okonomiyaki?
You know, a lot of restaurants specialize in it, but the best ones are often tucked away in those local neighborhoods. You can always ask around or look for those little alleyway spots with amazing smells coming out. Those are usually the real hidden gems.
Okay, challenge accepted. I'm going on an okonomiyaki hunt. What else? What else should I be adventurous with?
If you like octopus, you have to try takoyaki. Imagine these little fried balls of batter, and inside is octopus, tempura scraps, pickled ginger, green onions.
Okay, my mouth is watering already.
They're crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside. And guess what? They're topped with that same delicious okonomiyaki sauce and those dancing bonito flakes.
Those dancing bonito flakes seem to be a recurring theme.
You're catching on. Takoyaki is a classic Tokyo street food. You'll see vendors selling them everywhere, especially in busy areas like Shibuya and Shinjuku. Perfect for a snack while you're exploring.
Definitely adding that to the list. Okay, so we've got the okonomiyaki and the takoyaki. Anything else we should be looking for?
Honestly, Tokyo's food scene is all about trying new things. Don't be afraid to step into a ramen shop or try an izakaya. Those are like Japanese pubs. They have amazing sake and small dishes.
I'm all about trying new things, especially when it comes to food. All right, let's shift gears a bit. What about the practical stuff? The things we need to know to make sure our trip goes smoothly?
Right, the logistics. First, make sure your passport is valid. You need at least 6 months before it expires.
Okay, passport check. What about visas?
It depends where you're from. Japan has pretty clear entry requirements, so it's best to double check. Better safe than sorry.
Good point. What about health and safety? Anything specific we should know?
Always good to talk to your doctor before you travel, see what vaccinations they recommend. Japan has really good healthcare, but being prepared never hurts. And pack a basic first aid kit, just in case.
That's smart. Speaking of safety, how safe is Tokyo in general?
Japan has a super low crime rate. It's one of the safest countries in the world. You can walk around pretty much anywhere, even at night, and feel safe.
That's good to know. What about natural disasters? Japan is earthquake prone, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's in an active seismic zone. But Japan is really prepared for earthquakes. They've got strict building codes, and everyone knows what to do in case of an emergency.
So just be aware and know what to do if something happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you check into your hotel, they usually have information about evacuation procedures and where the nearest shelters are.
All right, good to know. Now back to cultural stuff. We talked about bowing, but are there any other customs we should be careful about? Things we shouldn't do?
Bowing is huge, like you said. You'll see it everywhere. Just try to observe and follow what the locals do.
I'll be bowing to everyone. What about at temples and shrines? Are there specific things we should or shouldn't do?
Remember to take off your shoes when you enter. Usually there's a spot to leave them. Also, dress modestly. Try not to be too loud and be respectful of people who are there to pray.
It's all about being mindful and respectful.
Got it.
Got it. Anything else?
Here's a big one. Don't tip in Japan.
Really? Why not?
It's just not part of their culture. It can even be seen as insulting sometimes. So don't worry about leaving extra money at restaurants or in taxis.
Wow, that's so different. I'm so used to tipping. Okay, what about language? How much English will we encounter?
You'll be fine in most tourist areas. Hotels, restaurants, main attractions, they usually have English speakers. But if you venture off the beaten path, you might run into some language barriers.
So it wouldn't hurt to learn a few basic phrases.
It's always a good idea. Even simple things like hello and thank you.
Shows you're making an effort.
Exactly. And don't worry if you can't speak Japanese fluently. Most people are patient, and you can always use gestures or translation apps to help.
True. Okay, another practical question. How much should we budget for transportation?
Tokyo's public transportation is really good and pretty affordable. A subway or bus ride will usually cost between 200 and 400 yen. That's like 2 to 4 US dollars.
Not bad at all.
But if you're going to be using public transportation a lot, think about getting a prepaid IC card like a Suica or a Pasmo.
I think we talked about those earlier.
Yeah, you just load them with yen and use them on subways, buses, even some shops and vending machines. Makes it super easy to get around.
Definitely convenient. What about those bullet trains? They seem pretty cool.
The Shinkansen? Oh, they're an experience. Super fast, smooth, comfortable. You can get from Tokyo to Osaka in just a couple of hours, but they can be pricey, so keep that in mind if you want to do any side trips.
Okay, noted. So we've got subways, buses, bullet trains. What about taxis? Are they a common thing in Tokyo?
Yeah, you can find taxis pretty easily, especially in busy areas, but they can get expensive, especially during rush hour or late at night. Make sure the driver uses the meter, and it's a good idea to have your destination written down in Japanese, just in case.
Good tip.
Yeah.
What about other options? Like, can we rent bikes in Tokyo?
Tokyo is becoming more and more bike-friendly. They're adding bike lanes, and there are rental shops all over the city. It's a great way to explore, especially in neighborhoods that are more laid back, like Shimokitazawa or Yanaka.
I love that idea. Exploring on two wheels. Now let's talk about where to stay. What are our options, and how much should we expect to spend?
Tokyo has all kinds of accommodations, from budget-friendly hostels to super fancy hotels. But if you want something really unique, you could try a ryokan.
A ryokan? What's that?
It's a traditional Japanese inn. Think tatami mat floors, futon beds, communal baths. It's a really cool way to experience Japanese hospitality and immerse yourself in the culture.
That sounds amazing. How much do they cost?
It depends, but even the more affordable ryokans can give you a great experience.
Okay, ryokan's on the list. What about hotels? Any specific areas you'd recommend?
It depends what you're looking for. Shibuya and Shinjuku are great if you want to be in the middle of all the action. But if you want something more relaxed, try Asakusa or Ueno. They have more of a traditional vibe.
It sounds like there's really something for everyone. Any last words of wisdom before we move on?
Embrace the unexpected. That's what Tokyo is all about. Be open to new things, try new foods, don't be afraid to get lost. That's how you'll find those truly memorable moments.
Love that advice. Go with the flow. All right, we've covered a lot. We'll be back for the final part of our Tokyo deep dive. Stay tuned for even more insider tips and hidden gems. Welcome back to our Tokyo adventure. We've explored those iconic landmarks, talked about the food, the culture. Now it's time to uncover those hidden gems, right?
Absolutely. Tokyo has so many layers. There's always something new waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
Let's get into those special spots that make the city so unique.
Okay, I'm ready. Where do we start?
How about we escape the city for a bit? Tokyo has some incredible parks and gardens.
That sounds relaxing. I could use a bit of zen after all that talk about Shibuya Crossing.
Right. It's a nice change of pace. You get to reconnect with nature, find some peace and quiet.
So which parks or gardens would you recommend?
If you want the classic Japanese garden experience, Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden is a must-see. It's huge, right in the middle of Shinjuku. They've got traditional Japanese gardens, English landscape gardens, even French formal gardens.
Wow, it's like a garden from every culture. I bet it's beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning. You could easily spend a whole day there. But if you're looking for something a bit more hidden, off the tourist track, I'd recommend Koishikawa Korakuen Garden.
Koishikawa Korakuen Garden. Okay, I'm adding that to my list. What's so special about it?
It's one of Tokyo's oldest gardens, goes all the way back to the Edo period. Picture this. A peaceful pond with colorful koi fish, beautiful bridges, a traditional tea house. You can sit there, sip some matcha, and just enjoy the tranquility.
I'm relaxed just thinking about it. All right, so we've got our peaceful escapes. What about some unique museums?
Oh, Tokyo has some amazing museums that go beyond just art and history. If you're into animation or even just storytelling in general, you have to visit the Ghibli Museum.
Wait, the Ghibli Museum? Like the studio that made Spirited Away and Totoro?
The one and only.
I'm obsessed with those movies.
It's a total dream come true for Ghibli fans. Interactive exhibits, screenings of original short films, and you can even climb inside a life-size cat bus.
Okay, that just shot to the top of my must-do list. I need to hug that cat bus.
It's an experience you won't forget. And if you want to dive deeper into Japanese history and culture, the Edo Tokyo Museum is fantastic.
I've heard of it. What's it all about?
It brings the Edo period to life. You can walk across a replica of the Nihonbashi Bridge, see what a traditional Edo-era town looked like, learn about how people lived back then.
Tokyo seems to do such a good job of blending the old and the new. It's amazing.
Totally. All right, let's explore some of Tokyo's neighborhoods. Each one has its own vibe, its own hidden treasures.
I'm ready to get lost in those streets. Where should we go first?
If you want to see the artsy, bohemian side of Tokyo, go to Shimokitazawa. It's full of artists, musicians, vintage shops.
Shimokizawa, yeah. I've heard it's really cool and unique. What's the atmosphere like?
Think narrow streets, independent boutiques, those cozy cafes with mismatched furniture, live music venues, vintage record stores. It's a hub for creativity, and you're guaranteed to find something special there.
I love places like that.
Yeah.
So much personality. Okay, what other neighborhoods should we check out?
If you're into architecture and design, Daikonyama is really trendy. It's a stylish neighborhood with designer boutiques, art galleries, fancy restaurants.
Sensing a theme here. Tokyo loves to shop.
It's true. But there's more to Tokyo shopping than just designer stores. For something more traditional, check out the back streets of Yanaka.
Yanaka. I haven't heard of that one.
It's one of Tokyo's oldest neighborhoods. It has this charming, old-world feel. You'll find traditional craft shops, antique stores, and places selling local snacks.
I like the sound of that. Little slice of old Tokyo.
Yeah, it's a great place to find unique souvenirs and get a different perspective on the city.
Speaking of souvenirs, what are some cool things we should bring back?
Japanese stationery is amazing. They have the coolest notebooks, pens, washi tape. It's perfect if you want to add a little Japanese aesthetic to your life.
Ooh, I love stationery. What else?
Japanese ceramics are beautiful. You can find everything from teacups to vases. And if you want something really special, look for a traditional Japanese woodblock print.
A piece of art. I like it. Oh, and we can't forget about Japanese snacks. What should we be stocking up on?
You have to try mochi, those chewy rice cakes. They come in all these flavors, sweet and savory. They're so good.
I've heard good things about matcha-flavored mochi.
If you're a green tea fan, you'll love it. And stock up on matcha powder while you're there. Oh, and Japanese Kit Kats are a must. They have all these crazy flavors you won't find anywhere else. Strawberry cheesecake, green tea, even steak.
Okay, my suitcase is going to be overflowing with snacks.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything. We've hit the main attractions, those hidden gems, talked about the culture, the food, the practical stuff. You're ready for Tokyo.
I feel like I've already been there. Tokyo's definitely at the top of my travel list now.
Remember, this is just a starting point. The best thing about Tokyo is that there's always more to discover. Get out there, explore, find your own adventures.
I am so ready. And I'll definitely be sharing my Tokyo stories when I get back. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive into Tokyo. It's been amazing.
Happy travels!